news tonight, Governor Umoino creates Ministry of Internal and Waterways Security. Stakeholders deliberate on effective use of National Gender-Based Violence Dashboard. Plus, Mobil Producing Nigeria Limited unveils Ibonoho's Community Development Trust. Hello there, thanks so much for joining us on NTA News. My name is Clement Barikui. Don't forget that this broadcast is coming to you live on Star Times Channel 103 and on our social media handles on Facebook and YouTube. Akwa Ibom State Governor Umoino is advocating the collapse of all political groups into a properly regulated security outfit. To this end, government has created the Ministry of Internal and Waterways Security. Government as correspondent Kevin Samuel reports.
There have been reports of increase in security challenges across Akwa Ibom State in spite of the number of security groups with the name Body. It is the belief of the governor that if not properly regulated, the groups may turn into security threats, hence the creation of the Ministry of Internal and Waterways Security to train and profile them to assist security agencies in ensuring adequate security across the state.
This ministry will ensure that we collapse all the various groups that we have had in this state before now. All of the groups that have been available, crowd control, all of that will now come under the ministry. And everyone will drop their Umoino Arise, Umoino Traffic Control, Umoino this. All of that will be dropped. And the ministry will now properly profile them to work in the new Ministry of Security and Water.
The governor is optimistic that when done, the youth will have better means of livelihood and as such avoid being used by politicians as touts. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
To ensure that the prevalence of gender-based violence is reduced to the barest minimum in the society, need for stakeholders' sensitization on the use of National Gender-Based Violence Dashboard for effective documentation has been stressed. Emedon Umo report that this is the submission of the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. The reports.
Gender-based violence, GBV, is one of the most prevalent human rights violations around the world. The impact of GBV ranges from physical harm to long-term emotional distress and death in some cases. Research has it that 33% of women and girls experience gender-based violence in Nigeria annually, and this figure represents only reported and documented cases. Data on gender-based violence is a powerful and necessary tool for implementing successful preventive measures, providing survivors with the right support and creation of programs for behavioral change enablement.
Don't keep quiet. Speak out. Don't say it's my husband. Even if it's your husband, report him. Your uncle, report him.
Every day, as the evil is escalating, you need to learn. You need to be equipped. You need to know the next line of action. You need to know who to call. Where my work ends may be where your work begins.
Together, we will do it together. This fight, this voice will be sent out to the people of Akwa Ibom State. Because we want our female children to be safe. We want our women to be safe.
To address this trend, the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has established a situation room which provides a central point for the collection, collation, and analysis of GBV, and this is necessary for the monitoring of the prevalence of GBV and other related trends in the country.
The State Ministry of Women Affairs will need to set up what we call the State Technical Working Group, comprising all security agencies, implementing partners, CSOs, NGOs in Akwa Ibom State. Because no person can come straight and populate a national dashboard. No, you cannot. You have to go through the state.
Akwa Ibom State is privileged to have a situation room established through collaboration with the Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research in Nigeria. The situation room has been commissioned and is fully operational and would complement the efforts of the situation room established by the Federal Ministry.
It is expected that stakeholders are to document and report to the State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare as the coordinating agency for all gender issues in Uyo. Emediongumo, NTA News.
In the wake of the ongoing indefinite strike embarked on by the National Association of Resident Doctors, the federal government has approved the payment of 25,000 naira of peculiar allowance for medical and dental doctors in hospitals, medical centers and clinics in the federal public service. The allowance is to be paid from the overhead budget. This was disclosed in a statement by the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the National Salary and Wages Commission, Ekpo Ntan. Government also issued circulars on some of the demands of the striking doctors. These are the circular on review of CONMES, which indicate 25% for CONMES 1 to 6 and 35% for CONMES 7. Another circular shows 25% for CONMES 1 to 14 and 35% for CONMES 15. Also included is the circular on hazard allowance for doctors working outside hospitals. You are still watching NTA, your news. Ahead of the news tonight, NNPC NPN joint venture unveils Ibono Host Community Development Trust. These and more after this break.
Roseville Hotel. Come, feel the luxury of our contemporary hotel. We offer lodging and accommodation. Stay at our deluxe executive and luxury suite for your comfort. Experience extravagant dining and delicious meals by expert chef. Lounge at our exquisite VIP bar. Enjoy 24-hour power supply with free Wi-Fi services. Our security system is top-notch to ensure your safety. Ample parking space and laundry services available. The ambience is serene to make your stay memorable. We are located at number 1 Julius Badger Road off House of Assembly Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. For reservations, call 070-650-41139. Roseville Hotel, hospitality at its best.
Prisma International Hotels, located at number 5 Efangosanga Street, Afarafort, Overback Road, Uyu. When it comes to hospitality industry, nothing compares with comfort, exquisite services, and top-of-the-world security. These are what make Prisma Hotels a household name. At Prisma Hotels, you are assured of lavishly furnished, spacious rooms and suites with complimentary breakfast, top-class Blue Sea swimming pool, VIP and poolside bars, as well as restaurant where African and continental dishes are saved at pocket-friendly rates. These are not all. There is high-speed internet service, closed-circuit television, spacious car park, 24-hour power and water supply, sparkle laundry and dry cleaning services, and above all, combat-ready security operatives. So whenever you are in Uyo or you are a resident in Uyo, capital city of Akwa Ibom State, make Prisma Hotels number 5 Efang Street, Afara Fort, off a back road Uyo your choice, and you will cherish the experience. For bookings and inquiries, please call 081-3166-6660 or 0915-509-9989. Prisma International Hotels, hospitality par excellence.
Glad to know you are still there. We now continue with the rest of our stories. Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited, a subsidiary of ExxonMobil and operator of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, an NPN joint venture, has consistently remained the highest private sector employer of labor in Akwa Ibom State. General Manager Joint Venture Operations of Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited, Mark Fraser, announced this at the unveiling of the NNPC MPN Ibono Host Community Development Trust. The reports.
The NNPC MPN Ibono Host Community Development Trust is in fulfillment of provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. Under the Act, NNPC MPN joint venture is setting aside some percentage of its revenue for the economic and social development of the host communities. Speaking at the unveiling of the Board of Trustees, the General Manager Joint Venture Operations of Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited, Mr. Mark Fraser, said with the trust, host communities in Akwa Ibom State are now in the driver's seat and determine the pace, nature, and impact of community development projects and programs in their respective communities.
Over this period, we've enjoyed a mutually beneficial relationship with our communities and have played our part in the economic prosperity of the communities by way of significant revenue contributions and community development initiatives. Additionally, our JV has consistently remained the highest private sector employee of labour in the state.
The vehicle of engagement between Mobil Producing and the host communities for developmental purposes was on a need basis. This way, many developmental projects were completed across the communities in the areas of health, hospitals, education and scholarship, entrepreneurial development, infrastructures and others. It is our hope that the peace and harmony exhibited by the communities under the Ibono HCDT will be sustained during the day-to-day management of the affairs of the Trust.
Chairman Board of Trustees Samuel Thomas and other stakeholders described the unveiling of the trust as a dream come true, promising to continue giving NNPC MPN joint venture a safe environment to operate.
We will need your help to sensitize the youth, the elders, the women, everybody on the need to remain peaceful and give you the support that you never got before.
I want to thank them for a lot of things they have done, in fact, including being responsible for the environment, because whenever there are spills, they take action more speedily than most other companies that I know of. And I want to advise my people, please, don't write petition about you. Don't write petition over this trust, because this is a hard-earned trust.
The unveiling of the Ibono Host Community Development Trust brings to second the number of trusts inaugurated in Akwa Ibom State by the NNPC MPN joint venture, as it had earlier unveiled the Imoemi Trust in Uyo.
Nigerians have been advised to take the awareness of vesico-vaginal fistula seriously to enable victims of the illness get surgical repairs and prevent new infection. The 92nd inaugural lecturer of the University of Uyo, Professor Anefio Umoyogo, gave the advice during his lecture on the topic, "She shall be saved in childbearing, the sad story of maternal birth injuries with focus on vesico-vaginal fistula at the permanent site of the university." John Paul Alumina reports.
The 92nd inaugural lecture of the University of Uyo was presented by the Professor of Urogynecology and Perennial Reconstruction from the Faculty of Clinical Sciences of the institution. The citation of the lecturer presented by Dr. Emmanuel Nyaetuk indicate that Professor Eniefok Umoyo is a thoroughbred fistula surgeon and academician par excellence who has written many books and presented papers within and outside Nigeria. Professor Eniefok Umoyo enumerated the causes of VVF to include underage pregnancy, pregnancy at old age, disease, and so on, urging the university and other stakeholders to train more doctors in the area to meet the needs of the patients. He reviewed the research that shows that about 800,000 women are affected by VVF in Nigeria, accounting for 40% of the global cases, advising that women who are in labor should be taken to the hospitals instead of prayer homes.
A large fistula in the fistula is more than 5 centimeters. Complex one is the one that involves not only the bladder and the vagina, but involves other areas. The Vice Chancellor also went to work on that, and I have published a paper on how to overcome that. In fact, my paper shows that you do a 3-layer closure on the fistula and then mobilize the surrounding tissues to support the surgery site.
The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Nyando Ndeayo, while commending the lecturer, described the lecture as enriching and advised the public to take healthcare services seriously.
There are professors and there are professors. This one has admitted himself. It's not at all. It is a professor that any system we're proud of any day, any time. It's a gift to the family of Mayowa and to humanity.
I am so happy, witnessing the events as the X-rays. A very important issue in gynecology, one of the sufferings that women go through, especially in the process of childbearing. And I am so happy that he has done justice to that topic.
We know vesicovaginal fistula is one of the complications that could happen following childbirth. He has able to create solution to this problem.
The Vice Chancellor, after receiving the lecture booklet from the lecturer, presented a plaque to the 92nd inaugural lecturer. In Uyo, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
As Christians continue in their effort to impact on humanity, there is the need to always allow God to order their steps. This came to the fore as the Commissioner for Information, Ini Ememobong, returns to God on Thanksgiving shortly after his swearing in as a member of the State Executive Council.
The atmosphere at the Church of Christ 144 Akar Road, Uyo was that of thanksgiving as songs of praises filled the air over the return of Comrade Ini Ememobong to the State Executive Council. The Comrade Commissioner for Information led some of the choruses that seemed not to end. Minister Emmanuel Inyang, in his message, encouraged Christians to begin everything they do with God and end the same with Him.
I want all of us to learn lesson and get it right. That if God leads you, you can never fall into a pit.
The General Manager of NTO, Mrs. Alice Ugbe, and other associates of Ini Ememobong say his return is divine.
Like they say, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. We are also glad that a good man like Inyeme Obong has returned back to the cabinet of the Akwa Ibom State government. And I'm very grateful and thankful to God for his reappointment, because I tell you, Inyeme Obong is a good man.
This is a young man that came in barely 18 months to the end of Governor Odo Emmanuel's tenure and changed the narrative of information management completely.
Comrade Inyeme Obong attributes height attained in his life to thanksgiving, saying he will continue to sing hallelujah to God.
His grace has just found me. So it's just my own way of usually going back to say, Father, I thank you. For every milestone, we need to thank him. I could have died yesterday. I could have died during the elections. I could have died while as Commissioner for Information. But he just kept me. And on his own brought me back. So I came to dedicate the appointment back to him, that he should go before, he should go with, and he should come after.
The service featured prayers for the new State Executive Council and the dedication of Comrade Inyeme Obong to God as he begins another phase in the management of the information architecture of the state government. In Uyo, Clement.
And it is on that note we end the news this evening. Remember to join NTA's campaign against rape and rapists. Wisdom Jacob is standing by for the day's news translation. I remain Clement Barakui.
Wuru kara stere mi asia o fa tume di sem boy ba no tumu kpeme ke mesri don je ke isang mo bono we tang mu fono na rate etre adi afai ke tu iban o fa tume mobile siak manu tuma na rate dependa no tumu furu ki bono kang ni song ide on boy equipment bo sanyi ni nyambu bre yomi mi kare wisdom check up adai wuru kara stere mi tu mo no atang abu kana iswana frefen men ebo nkambru kara ke fangnu tumu kpem ba to godo amoy bag debo kit kuton tami esia o fo to mena ante sem ko ba nu tumu kpem kidong ye ke me fangmo e ko bo ni kompa
yo kem fra ka fangnu tumu kpem ama si wa ga di kaisu ke stedemi bosodo atawak ebo esem ko ba nu tumu kpem aka iso ke stedemi o ba ga di on kente body ado kuton tami ka dai wuru kara stedemi akrebo ka dia ke wi mine ka ki sem ko ibanga me nsion sebo mi ke ya kapado mfran lu tumu kpeme ndien ado kuton tami ke sia o fa fo to ma di sem ko ibanga lu tumu kpeme ke mirong akora ka fangmong ndene no mi wara mi ukpe ba atoro amo di ke ni wan men ka ukpeme lu tumu kpeme kusonga forno ke stedemi ado idurenyen adai wuru kara stedemi ke mai na mami ke mi wat e ya enia se moy kamedia mpo ndion e yon sion ide mekpong amo de yak no ma brem bru kara e kama mo dong mutum simikpina nte dong mo ndien mo no kapedo mbuno di on get ki kom makara atem metout wisdom Jacob
etang mo fono kbenara tetre a fai ketu iban mama suko kesma batrida ndien amiedo adi binam yang bono weni fioi banga musong na pe bendu tmami akamo kair nyina yemme esen karina kombo nyine medio mo anam ya idio kado sa wen no fo tema sem ko ba nutmi ban kidet nyin akenam ya idio mi
ato nangampo abanga irangami yenanga monowo edin inie atemeteme eduwem me ikpo wo ke anyong ko esinu yo ebo ke diken bo ke tre menisme ido ambono wo esekena mi kpakwana different no me iban korom miren ko ke esio usongfen manatoro ma kre bo ke tre nisme uwememe ke dina mami e ma ekpe me ikpo wo mkpo manatoro mo eni fiok ebanga menkara ambonomi ekemeki kama ndiene mo ema nyunge boke mimo ebika kai sori kan boki mi sanidem inam utum mimo afon manatoro ifon no iden ye iba atre ken kan kongne eboke mi po wo mi keru biong tumo mo ammo ikan bo ke utumo mo na nga ke mention sio itie ke ebene tuboro esok ufokutum ekoto Women Affairs and Social Welfare ke Akwa Ibom State miku yo emedion mo kombo NTA
Automobile Nigeria Unlimited ada motum senake idak Exxon Mobil nyong adiana me autom NPC na motum etangebo kanimo ido ngoro autom ida tambo no Akwa Ibom kutumi kan ke stedeme ado dai woro autom do Mark Fraser akana medion me kini ege bere kan nutum na ani dependa nutum furo inombo ni bono ya ikombo me ito kombo
mendutum ari dependa nutum furo kibno ufotum NNPC mobile diana kenam ado mbasa ngakem kan nutum mbere nisong akiswa 2021 ekesio kidang beremi ufotum NNPC mobile es nante esio ubera kok ketua kok se moy wana e dependa nutum furo ke midong se moy bay namutum kini ke tang ko dependa nutum ado ngwari dong e kamba bu foto mobile Mark Fraser amata abo ke nutum mi ena mami ke midong se ni moy bay namutum ke Akwa Ibom State ado mpo ado nante se mendautum menda nangana te dependa nutum furo ke midong se ni moy bay namutum Tiu work bokore bo na desem ko ba nutumo mi Samuel Thomas yem bono fancy ti bono etanga bo kedi na mami adom po amoy na ma adi wo krunen ndiene no ngo bo kenimo ana ino mo fang ya mo krebo ke na mutum ti furum me kemem nutumo mi ena mami ki bono dependa nutumo furu ado yoriba ena ma keste de mi dependa nutumo furu mbun nkaumi Wisdom Jacob
Bon de trem pour moubre yom yero tu moubre yom pangale tu ma ki kom men brafen itonyen tu twinero